Alright, so this is really freaking interesting. Celebrating your very own 20 years of Xbox history, check out the Digital Xbox Museum to guide your avatar through key events in Halo history, along with some of our own greatest milestones. I just clicked on it because I thought it was like a video because of this bar down here, and boy, is it really not a video. It is something completely different and interesting and cool, I guess. So it's a sign in for the full experience or continue without signing in. I signed in. I didn't really start on anything yet, but the timeline looks like it started from 98. And then this happened where I'm looking around, but what I didn't know was that you can actually control this little Y character. It's like a whole 3D thing. Why are they red and some are different colors? He's yellow. I'm just gonna lower that down a bit because it is really loud. But yeah, this is all I saw so far, and this looks really dope. Can I walk on this? Nope. Can I jump? You can. Interesting. Go to the map. Is the map the thing I was just looking at? It is. Okay, so that's not what I want to click on. I just wanted to check this out because it looks weird. Oh, it's the original Xbox Goopy Ball. So early 1999. Oh, a video game console from Microsoft. A team of game-obsessed renegades deep within Microsoft's corporate structure rally around a preposterous-sounding goal: to use the resources of the world's largest software company to build a new console.
Everybody has their own agenda. My point of view, I want games to take over the world. That's my agenda. I think games are the most powerful, most important
The full screen works.
medium ever created by man. The merging of entertainment and software together to make something unstoppable. Today, when the game business is a $140 billion business worldwide, bigger than music, bigger than movies, bigger than TV, it's obvious. It wasn't obvious 40 years ago that this was going to happen.
The creation of Xbox isn't about a single memo or single idea. When you get a group of motivated, smart people together, burning the midnight oil in the face of all sorts of odds to make the impossible possible, you can't do better than that.
It wasn't enough for us to be successful in the marketplace. We wanted people to love us. And we wanted the industry to look at Xbox as something that was going to be worthy of the very best games.
I was always feeling that I was on a journey with real-time pressure to find a place where I would fit in. You hear Miyamoto talk about when he was a kid exploring in the forest behind his house, and he wanted to make games like that. He wanted to make that place. We created a device that enabled people to make environments and places where people like us could feel that safety, where people like us felt we belonged. And that's an awesome achievement of a generation. We made that place. How cool is that?
It is very cool. Okay, so I'm assuming this next one is the same thing, but I'm not
We were on a
gonna.
journey to try
It's
to
only
influence
30
and
seconds.
get support for this crazy idea that we had around putting a DirectX-powered box in the living room to deliver Microsoft-powered interactive content.
And the very beginnings of Xbox, when it was still called the DirectX box, for the first 6 months or so, it's about various groups of us driving around trying to crash meetings and get traction on this thing.
I didn't even know that. I was very young at the time, but the Microsoft's DirectX, and it was in a box. It's just a box in the living room, yeah. So that's how they came up with the name Xbox. Pretty cool. Looks like a Toxic logo. Okay, so that's pretty interesting. Those are relatively short, so that's good. I was actually really afraid that the second video was gonna be like a million years longer. I hope these aren't all videos, because that's gonna take a while. Damn it. Founders focus on the birth of Xbox. That's a minute 38. Another minute 30. 55. Jesus. I was mostly trying to just look at the concept art. Is this really a controller prototype? It is. Oh god, that is awful. Actually, the more I look at this is the thumbstick, D-pad, select, start, and all the buttons here. That might actually be kind of comfortable for your fingers now that I'm looking at it, but god, that looks ugly. It's so chubby and cute, it looks like a testicle. Only one analog stick and then 6 buttons? Ooh, that is a big yikes for me. Hey, this literally looks like the PlayStation. The little touchpad that they have. PlayStation ripped it off. Is this a star? This looks like a penis. Ah, the legend itself. That's pretty cool. Xbox size comparison. The standard PC tower circa 1998. Much smaller! Exclamation, exclamation. It's an interesting design. Ooh. This is actually some interesting stuff, but birth of a prototype. Hard to see the writing. It's either not scanned that well or very awful smudgy drawings. Oh, so they're pretty confident in being able to show like all of the early specs and whatnot. Like I get what these arrows are going to and what they're pointing at. PCI bus, okay, the BIOS ROM. Interesting. Whoa. Well, this looks nice. Is this the case for one of the consoles? No, that looks like a case. These look like connections to the TV and stuff. This looks nice. I like this. System hardware block diagram. Okay, so this makes more sense to me. Oh, I see. Okay, I see. Ooh. The fact that this museum is in 3D space is really cool. I like the floor. That's an interesting and very nice design. Hey, look at that. Halo CE. I'm still at the starting point. I need to get a move on. The meaning of green. Are these videos gonna take like another minute?
I remember the guys coming over the first night. You know, Seamus, Otto, Ted, and Kevin came and said, we have this idea to build a game console. And then they literally dropped this board and dropped these components on the table and said, what would it be like if we did this and this and this? And can you sketch it for us? Can you help us kind of put the pen on paper? And I remember, all I had was a green marker. All my other markers were all dried up at the time. I sketched things in black and green, and ultimately that stuck, and everybody fell in love with it.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I've always thought about that as a kid. I always looked at the Xbox logo, the green X, and I was like, whoa, it's like a portal or a valley that you fall into or something. That looks so dope. So that actually conveyed the message pretty well. The green meaning is that it was like a portal, like a Rick and Morty portal. Yeah, pretty clever design. That's what it felt like for sure as a kid. I was like, whoa, look at that. It's actually really cool. I'm hoping most of these videos aren't like a minute longer, because I'll just watch that on my own. And then I'll also provide a link. Oh, Xbox is approved and funded February 14th of 2000. And then they also had the launch of Halo CE alongside of it. God, that game is so fucking ugly. I never played it, but I just hated it. Oh, Microsoft tries to acquire Nintendo, spring 2000. I'm trying to read it. I can't get any closer. First prototype is revealed. I love that little plasma green ball. That's the Rick and Morty portal fluid. First Xbox prototype is revealed. The first prototype needs to differentiate itself from the big, bland motherboards of the 90s with style and flair. Ultimately, a decision to make the first console in the shape of its namesake, a giant metal X.
Horace designed, he's like, dude, we need a metal X, and it's got to have a green eye, shooting a laser out. I want it to blind people.
The idea was that there was this technology inside this big aluminum box that was busting at the seam, almost like a nuclear reactor. So when you look through this portal, you see this intense energy that's inside. And we try to recreate that with, we shopped around for a whole bunch of green laser pens at the time, trying to make the light just this intense thing that will shoot across the stage, and trying to make this thing as cool as possible, as capable as possible.
Whoa, is this one of their prototypes? I've never seen these. That is ugly. They got the Black Widow logo. This is actually pretty dope. I don't know how this would, well, it's got a lot of ventilation, but I was gonna say architecture-wise, I don't know how useful that would have been. Hey, there she is. Look at that beautiful woman. Microsoft acquires Bungie, June 19th of 2000. Wait, they acquired Bungie? I thought it was like a partnership. So if they acquired Bungie, but they're not making Halo. They sold Halo. So I remember, well, they're making Destiny. So then they sold Halo's rights to Microsoft, and Microsoft makes like another branch in their company called 343 Industries, naming it after 343 Guilty Spark and the Halo CE story mode. 343 Guilty Spark is the monitor. I guess I'll come back for that one. Xbox finally gets a name in the year 2000. Is that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? Really? I didn't even know he was there for the reveal. I was very young at this time. Hollywood and the tech world collide as Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson joins Bill Gates on stage to announce that Microsoft is entering the console space. Why can't I full screen any of this?
Thank you, Bill. It just might appear that The Rock and Bill Gates don't have a heck of a lot in common. Well, The Rock's here to say that that can't be farther from the truth. The Xbox is everything The Rock is. Cutting edge, powerful, exhilarating. I mean, The Rock doesn't impress easily, Bill, you know that, but I'm pretty damn impressed with what we're seeing here today. And considering that this Xbox at this moment is only running on 1/5 of the system's power, it's very impressive. Bill, do you have any idea what The Rock would be like if he were only running on 1/5 of his power?
Well, I would think that...
It doesn't matter what you think, Bill. I'm sorry, Bill. It's just a force of habit. Rock apologizes.
Jeez, the way that they cut that just kind of made him seem like an arrogant ass. God. I mean, I'm sure that there's more dialogue and more like jokes and stuff. I have not seen the original. I didn't even know he was there. Man, the way that they cut that was just kind of like, Bill, do you know how awesome and amazing and sexy I am? Too bad, fuck you, shake my hand, I'm done. And he walks off stage. Next Gen magazine breaks the story for Xbox prepping a console.
You know, pre-internet.
Oh, that's 3 minutes. Okay, I'll just watch that on my own time. Whoa. Man, they seriously went through a lot of different iterations. The Exterminator. What was this one called? It didn't have a name. The X-Wing. Oh god, the D-pad. I hate that the thumbsticks are so close to each other. I hate that so much. This is an interesting cable, though. Kind of looks like the N64 controller. You know, with the 3 little handles, especially on the side view. I guess that's not that bad. Kind of looks like a boomerang. But again, the freaking thumbsticks. I don't know. I don't want to be thumb wrestling with myself. The Racer X. Whoa. Ah, so this is how they came up with it. I love this Duke controller. It is still one of my favorite controllers. Even though it's so awful to hold and so janky, I still love it. These are ventilations. Ooh. Graphics processing unit, controller input, okay. Man, there's a lot. Xbox's first games are showcased at the GameStop 2001. Reveals the launch lineup for its new console, including Halo Combat Evolved, which I knew about, Amped, Freestyle Snowboarding, NFL, Fever 2002, and the quirky cult favorite Oddworld, Munch's Odyssey.
On March 13th, 2001, Microsoft put their commitment to developers on public display at their GameStop event in Seattle.
Epilepsy warning, jeez.
Thanks and welcome to GameStop 2001. What you're seeing is a sneak peek at what's to come on Xbox. We're going to start off with a game whose vision was really just too big to fit in the PS2, so we brought it over to the Xbox.
God, I hated that. I remember seeing that game. I hated it.
Aren't the,
never played it.
Muscle-bound superheroes, you know, that we want to be.
So ugly.
More like the poor, sad schmucks that most of us really
are. That's funny. Q Dolphin. Non-interactive animated 3D space of a dolphin swimming around the water. Still used. Oh, I thought they meant the dolphin from the GameCube. Into the water. So today's stress test for the products to validate that every part of the system, from silicone to software, is functioning correctly.
Real-time 3D rendered dolphin swimming around in water with ground terrain underneath it. And dolphin was just enough to stress almost every part of the 3D pipeline of an early pre-release Xbox system. And if Dolphin doesn't work, it means something somewhere has failed. Either the software has regressed, maybe there's something wrong with the silicon, but having Dolphin not run was a sad thing to have happen.
I keep scrolling down and it never works, so I'm just gonna click that X. November 15th, 2001, the Xbox is launched. First console designed for the broadband world, combined powerful processors, had a built-in Ethernet port, and was the first console to feature a built-in hard drive. Its introduction thrilled the developers and gamers alike and paved the way for digital marketplaces in both streaming and downloadable content. Yeah? Go Xbox. Always, and they're still doing the streaming thing today, even with the xCloud or whatever. Xbox Game Pass Cloud Gaming. They're still doing it. They're breaking everything with streaming. In short, the features in the original Xbox permanently changed the direction of the gaming industry.
Well, with the design, I'm really trying to communicate what the team is trying to promise to the marketplace. You know, the future gaming experience. Well, what does that mean? Well, that means a lot of different things, but one of the fundamental things it means is the raw and sensor power that the technology can promise. That now anything is possible inside the machine.
Pretty cool. Yep, first Ethernet port. God. And they didn't even really have like Xbox Live Gaming. I think they tried to do that like afterwards, where Halo CE was able to go online for a minute.
Out in a natural posture, imagine that you'll be holding it in that shape for 2 hours. I don't think that you'll go like this. You'll go like this in a natural posture. Well, this is where the controller fits in.
Yeah, that's true. Again, it is very comfortable, but also very like, I guess a lot of people in the future, like when they get too intensive with gaming, they do take up this other posture where they're like this, they're tightly gripping the controller. I mean, I do that too, even when I play Halo or whatever third person, first person shooters. You do end up going into this more aggressive pose rather than a relaxed pose, like with this hands here. You do tense up when you play games today instead of relax. So I think that's where the fault came in with this controller, where it was comfortable for relaxation purposes, but when you were getting into intensive gaming with Halo Online and stuff like that, instead of just simple puzzle games like Mario games, then you started going into this more aggressive crunching pose naturally instead of a relaxed pose. I think they were expecting that people would be gentle gamers. Man, were they wrong. People are hardcore nowadays, man.
We worked with the city to open up the WWF restaurant across the street from Toys R Us Times Square, and that's where all the gamers came first.
Bill wanted to be on site. He wanted to help hand over the first console.
Everybody got a tag on their wrist, and when your color was called, we brought you across the street to Toys R Us, and Bill was there to hand out the very first Xbox.
Tonight's kind of a celebration. It's after a lot of hard work.
10, 9, 8.
It was a magical night.
Who's this guy? I always see this guy, and I just don't know who he is. I'm sure he's like on social media somewhere, like, yeah, I'm that one guy that got the first Xbox. You. Oh god, that is awful. The earliest Minecraft fucking logo. Wow. It's a good thing to change it to the ball. Even though it's supposed to be, you know, Xbox. Or I guess this one isn't too bad because it's kind of opening like a package. But if you're going for a portal-like design, yeah, it's a good thing to go to that circle. Whoa, more radius. That's not that bad of a logo. Nah, it's too grungy. It's not that pretty. Interesting. A lot of different iterations. You never see the behind the scenes that often. I wonder why some of these people are blue and green. Hey, it's not like to skip. I didn't need to take the little ladder. I am the best. Yeah, they didn't even model the ports in the back, highlights and stuff. Oh man, these CRT tube TVs. They even modeled the little outlet. It's so cute. God, I hated that fucking lizard thing, especially when they zoom in like that. I hated it. Notable games that launched with the Xbox. Yeah, I remember the Madden. Never got into it, never cared about it, but I remember it. I do not remember Project Gotham. I do not remember whatever this is. Oh wait, is that Tony Hawk Skater 2? I don't know if that's dead or alive. I can't tell. And I just that's the ugly lizard thing, isn't it? A much smaller controller, the Controller S, is released in the spring of 2002. Xbox goes global with European and Australian launches on March 14th, 2002. And then Xbox launches the Xbox Live in November 15th, 2002. And then this is where they started using that Ethernet port. Xbox Live is the first online console gaming service that combined matchmaking, voice, high-speed downloads, and friends lists across all games under the vision that within 5 years, very important games will be online. Yep. I never used the Xbox Live until the 360.
Xbox Live is really different from anything else that's been done before. You're connecting people across the world to play games. And you know, everyone's trash talking when you're playing sports games. They're the most competitive things. Oh, I'm gonna get inside your head when you're calling your plays. People always want that top spot. They always want their name in lights.
Is that why people trash talk? Is to get inside their heads? That's never worked in the history of me ever playing games. All it did was just annoy me. I guess in a way that is getting inside your head, but not in a way that disrupts my game playing. It's just in a way like, God, this person's annoying. I really hope they don't win, and then that was it. Well, games that launched in 2002, Unreal Championship and Splinter Cell. Everyone loved freaking Splinter Cell. What about games that launched in 2003? Games, but they only show one? Is it anything different? No, same model and everything. Okay. Let's see, 2004. Yep, Halo 2 was the... to this day, Halo 2 is my favorite Halo. Especially the remastered anniversary edition with Blur Studios doing the cutscenes. One of my favorites. Fable is so fucking good. 05, the Forza Motorsports. Xbox Museum. I'll do these in parts actually, because I just noticed this is 32 minutes. Holy Jesus. But this is really cool. I mean, it's not like gameplay or anything that I'm actually doing, but it's looking at the history of Xbox, and that's pretty damn cool. And who knows how long this website will be up. They put a lot of work into this. You can tell. I mean, they modeled these crappy characters, crappy basic animations, but they put a lot of work into this, so who knows how long this thing will be alive.